Oh, that was me. That was me, guys. I did that. Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Hesse Duel. Today we've got Zsadok playing Berlin Command, not one that we see very often, going up against Lephi playing Second UK, one that we do see very often. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll cover the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is Zadok's deck for Berlin Command, and we'll go through it tab by tab. Berlin Command, bit of a not good at all division, really. I don't like it. I think it's very weak. Well, okay, it's pretty weak. No IFVs and so on. And your infantry's decent, but your aeroplanes... You've got the Nighthawk meme, but apart from that, you know, your ASFs are terrible, your long-range AA is terrible. There's other divs that just do all the same things, but better and without the glaring weaknesses. So, first tab, 3 cards of supply. So if you're running artillery and you're running lots of tanks, then yeah, 3 cards of supply can make sense. Between your supply vehicles, so M35 supply and TRM 2000 Logi. The TRM's French, so it's just better. It's got more HP, it's got more speed, it costs the same price. Then a Helo supply, this is typically more useful for team games, but it's only 35 points, but it's only got 600 supply in it. And then Bedford supply, which is the British one, so it costs more, it carries more supply. So yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it's whatever you want, really. This might be useful, we'll see in the game. For the CVs, this is 3 per card, 90 kilometers an hour. This is 3 per card, 90 kilometers an hour, but actually costs 5 points more. So there you go, the British bias. British bias. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat there. So yeah, I'm not sure what it means by 300 liters of fuel, given that the autonomy is identical. And then for 5 points, yeah, you can get the Humvee CV, which is slower. So yeah, I think the Rover's probably the best one. I mean, the Humvee's got more HP, which might be useful. These are all 3 per card. This is 2 per card, and it's got armor, but yeah. And then you could get 2 per card for 40 points. This one, pretty decent, because you can put it with your arty and stuff. But yeah, having a wheeled CV makes a lot of sense, given that the other CVs are tracked. And some more tracked ones here. So yeah, 3 CV cards, very normal. So here we've got some infantry. Not actually as much infantry as I was assuming there would be, given that this div is all about the infantry. MP patrol. So do you not get the recoilless rifle one on this div? Oh, interesting. So, yeah, 30 points for 5 guys and a machine gun, or you can pay 25 points for 4 guys and a machine gun, but also a Sterling, which is bad. The idea behind... Right, so this is not a military police vehicle, so it's not very helpful. The idea behind these MPs is that you can put them with some reservists, such as RAF rifles, or Berlin Rifles. Sorry, RF Rifles. RF Berlin. There you go. 12 men for 40 points. It's pretty decent, but it's got the reservist malice, so that's why you get the MP patrol. Otherwise, there's not really much point in it. Between the machine guns, you know, that these are all stat clones of each other, so you might as well just bring whichever one you want. And yeah, don't get the 50 cal one's actually the worst one. It used to be the best, but then these had their HP go up to 4, and they cost half as much, and they have more availability, so this is just not very useful anymore. 4 men for 20 points, military police. But yeah, I mean, the point of this is that you bring them with the with something like this, 10 men, you know, Polizei Reserve, or 12 men, RF Berlin with a, you know. So if you're not bringing that, then I don't see the point in bringing this, really. I suppose it goes with the Terrier Pioneers, who can only be brought at no vet. I don't really like Sapper's Flam. They used to be really good, but I don't think they're that good anymore, because like the accuracy is very low, the aim time's long, the reload time's long, so usually you just get low cohesion and then you just miss constantly. Like the range is only 350 meters, it used to be 500. Yeah, so and then 3 cards of Berlin rifles. So basically, the core of this division are these light rifles, recoilless rifles, because you spam out the recoilless rifles. So really, you want 2 cards of these. They've got 3 machine guns and 9 strength, right? They do cost more, but well, they cost the same. Okay, they've got 1 less man, and this can shoot at infantry, not just at vehicles. So it's very, very useful. So I'd be getting rid of 2 cards of those and bringing these. This is kind of the core of Berlin Command. You want to spam these out and have a supply behind them at all times, and so they could constantly be firing their recoilless rifles at people. But ever since 6th US came out, 6th US also gets these, so it's not so useful anymore. And then, yeah, then you can bring this if you want, you know, a Law 80, basically, because these guys get LRAX. This is a really good infantry squad as well. And then, yeah, we've got CV and Milan too, so don't upvet the Milan too. Basically, suppression resistance isn't really important on these at all, because if they're getting shot, they should be running away, so they don't need the suppression resistance. So don't upvet that. And then the VAB Milan, yeah, fair enough. It's got a Milan, it's 40 points, it can work. So yeah, it's just kind of weird to see this when there's no because like the point is that you're supposed to be like spamming out these cheaper squads, and I'm not sure where it could go really. Because yeah, you'd have to get rid of this to put this in, or this to put this in. I prefer this one because it's got AT, and it's like it's got security as well. Although so does this. So they've got good optics when they're stood still. So yeah, I don't really see the point of the MP patrol. If you've not actually got any reservist units. So I'd take it out and put in a reservist unit, but then you don't have an MP patrol. So, but yeah, I think you need like a sponge squad. This is your sponge squad. It soaks up damage. I do like these as well, so hopefully we can find a place to make some savings. Artillery, so that's a 1-point slot, okay. So yeah, these are at 1 vet. That's fair enough. You can put a CV next to them, one of these, and you can fire a lot. It makes a lot of sense. And then so self-propelled mortars for smoke are a lot better than foot mortars. That's fair enough. And then between the mortars, this one is 10 points cheaper and shoots faster, but the smoke has less, you know, splash. So is it worth it? I don't know. And this is 65 points for a wheeled one, which is actually a lot more useful in my own personal opinion, because these are the same price. The wheeled one is faster. It's got, you know, it's got less armor, but it's so much faster, right? It's going to get around faster. You're going to get to where you want to be faster. You're going to survive counter battery more because you can move out the way faster. So I'd be bringing the wheeled one personally. Tank tab, so P4 Milan spam. I don't really see the point in upvetting these. Because yeah, you're only getting 5% accuracy, so I'd down vet that, and then you can either, you know, keep this or you could swap it out for what's the difference here? They're identical. Okay. So yeah, obviously you want the Rover Milan because it's not French. And yeah, you could also swap one of these out for the Humvee Tow, which also has good stealth, but it's a Tow 2, which is actually pretty strong. And then there you go. And then this is your cheapo one, and this is your, you know, better one. Then this is an anti-infantry tank. This is sort of your pseudo IFV, because you don't get IFVs, so this is supporting your infantry because of the autocannon. Then this is shooting bad guys, and this is shooting bad guys, and these are at 1 vet, which makes sense. The CEV and the AMX-30B have similar roles, but the AMX-30B is better, in my opinion. And this should really be like 30 points. It's just an auto. So this is your IFV, but it's just the autocannon, and it's only got 1 armor. So it costs the same as an AMX 10P, the French IFV, except that's got like more armor. And it's faster. Anyway, you get 12 of them, so it would be nice to find a way to fit this in, because this is going to support your infantry. But it's a lot of micro having to use these when you could just buy this, and it sort of does the same thing, but it costs more. So you know, this is probably twice as useful as that. And yeah, I agree with having 2 cards of ATGMs. I wouldn't be upvetting it for the reason I just spoke about. Recon, so racist, so you can see things. Yeah, I mean, you don't really get that many tanks on this div, so is it worth it to put with your tanks? Maybe, but you don't get that many tanks. You only get 2 cards of reasonable tanks, and this is an anti-infantry tank, so I'm not really sure this is necessary. We always speak about how special forces go faster the higher the veterancy, but this is not a special forces transport, so there's no point up vetting this, because it won't actually make the transport any faster. It'll make the units better, but this is a really nice anti-infantry unit. You want this with your guys. You want all 4 of them, really. Then, right, so this is the sec. So 6 men with a thing, but the thing is, right, so this has very good optics when it stood still, the Sonderwagen 4. So you could get rid of the racist and then use the Sonderwagen 4 with your tanks. It's not as ideal, right, because it's only good when it's moving, but I think the racist is a bit much. And then with your extra 3 points, you can come back here, and you can put in your MP patrol if you want to help your sponges, or you can put this in, which is a very strong squad, very strong anti-infantry squad, because it's got the DMR, it's got high strength, and the LRX's a very good rocket launcher because of the suppression and the accuracy and the range. The AP is not that great. Snipers, I don't really like them, but they can work. This is an MP vehicle, so you could put that with your tanks to buff them up a bit. Yeah, I don't know about the snipers, but whatever. Eclairs are decent because they've got... Yeah, well, we'll see how useful it is, right? Anyway, these, I wouldn't be one-vetting these, right? So... Because, yeah, obviously it does get better, but it just doesn't really matter. You're losing half the availability, so there you go. And now you've saved 2 AP, and now you've got 3 more AP, and now you can get, something here. Now you can get the Radans. And now you've got fire support, right? Or you could come back here and put in your MP patrol, although you've probably got enough infantry now. So yeah, I mean, it's for the sake of 11% accuracy, you've just gained an extra card of you've just gained 12 autocannons, so I think it's worth it. This is actually somewhat decent, but not really. AA, so pivads for use against infantry, I guess. This is not good against infantry. The one with 2 guns is, but this isn't. So yeah, I assume this is for against infantry. You've upvetted it. I don't really see the advantage of upvetting it, but if you're only well, I mean, are you buying 7? Probably not, so maybe it makes sense. It probably does make sense. Then minstrels. Javelin LML, which I really don't think is very good. I think you should bring it a Stinger instead. Like, it's 50 points, but it's slow. It can't go in buildings, and it's classed as like a towed vehicle and not an infantry, so it's got bad stealth. Well, it's got good stealth instead of exceptional stealth. So I'd be getting rid of this and putting this in. And then yeah, Rapier FSA, which is your best AA. It's trash, but it's your best AA. Helis, no helis, really weird. So like 6 Gazelle rockets is very useful if the enemy does a breakthrough, and 4 Hell Arms is very useful if the enemy does a breakthrough. So I suppose we could get rid of this, downvet this, and now you can get a Hell Arms and Lynx rockets, right? Or you can get rid of this and then put that RT back in or whatever, but I think like this is very useful if the infantry do a breakthrough. You buy them all at once and you send them all out together, and you just keep them blobbed, and send them back to refuel. It's just very, very useful because you can buy all of them for 120 points. Air tab, so Harrier AA is your best ASF. It's obviously terrible. It's 3 availability instead of 4, right? The MiGs are just like the MiG-21s come at 4 and they've got better loadouts and they're faster, and it's like, oh, okay. Harrier Rocket 2 for the rockets, yeah, it can be useful at the start of the game. Seed to clear the way for the Nighthawks, which are basically the only unique good selling point of this division. Is using the Nighthawks, so hopefully we get to see some Nighthawk action. Going up against 2nd UK, which doesn't have the best AA situation. And, whoops, we'll go through this tab by tab. I need to actually take a look at it. Well, not that one. There we go. Yeah, it all seems pretty normal to me. Something weird going on here. So, 3 cards of supply, very normal. Cheap supply, this supply. I actually like to bring a Chinook as the 3rd supply because it's got 2,000 supply and it's like quite cost efficient. So I like to have one of these at the back, resupplying my guys. I think you can do it. You don't have to. Then this is the same as the one on Berlin Command. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs. So what you could do here is actually swap this out for the Saxon, because for 5 points more you lose an availability, but you get smoke, which is very useful, and you get twice the HP, and you get armor, so you're a lot more survivable for 5 points more. You do lose 1 availability, but you've already got 3 CV cards, so I think it's worth it in this case. If you're only running 2 CV cards, then you need the 3 one really, but I think, you know, for the sake of 1 CV, getting one that's going to die less, especially with the smoke and everything, is very useful. Don't get the Helo CV. SS in Saxons, you bring it in the Saxon because it's faster than the Bedford, and it's got smoke, and it's max vet with a MMG, so it actually deals decent damage, and it has more than 200 rounds now. He used to only have 200 rounds. 2 cards of Warrior Milans with arm rifles is very, very standard. You should always bring 2 cards of Warrior Milans with arm rifles at 1 vet on this div. You should always bring both cards of SAS on this div. Motorized Air Mobile is an acquired taste. I can't remember if I bring them. And then, in fact, this actually looks a lot like my build of this div. But yeah. So, motorized air mobile. I mean, do you really need them? Maybe, right? And then HSF, which is your sponge unit. It's reservist, but it's 10 strength and it's 30 points, so that's your sponge. Although 3 of these is very annoying because that really cuts down on the combat capacity. I was going to say that next time I play second UK, I'm going to try swapping out my HSF for Terriers, because for 10 points more, you lose the reservist. You lose the security, so you won't have good optics when you stood still. But you've got an AT, and you've got less Sterlings, but you do lose 2 strength. You say, But then, they're going to rework the reservist trait. That was in the dev diary, right? They're going to make the reservist trait a lot better, in which case this is probably going to be better again. And then, yeah, Air Mobile's at 2 vet, Air Mobile Pilot is at 2 vet. I think that's very normal, and then that allows you to get 10 Lynx rockets out. Milan 2, yeah. I mean, I've seen people bring it in the Hellarm thing for extra toes, but this is a very expensive thing, which isn't very good, and you've got enough in there, so you don't really need that. And then, yeah, Saxon if you want a little bit. Oh no, they're the same speed, so who cares? And then a CV with smoke in the Bedford, so that's fair enough. Your other options are, 6 strength, no smoke for 5 points less. 6 strength, like nothing for 5 points less, or pay 10 points more for no AT, but 2 more strength, or pay 10 points more for 2 more strength and no AT. So this is the best one. RT tab. So yeah, this is how I build it as well. I guess a lot of people probably watching my videos at this point. So a lot of people you see, well, a lot of people you used to see bringing these, and because they're like, wow, I get 2 for 280 points, and this isn't that good. But then you've got to move them, or you're going to get counter batteried. And how good's your micro, right? Are you a top 1 player? I am, and I bring the other one because my micro is not that good. So if you think your micro can handle moving these around, be my guest, right? You can sort of do something like that. But I personally, I bring these 2, and then I bring this for smoke. And it works for me, and I put a CV next to them, and then they shoot faster, right? But yeah, the way I build this div is I actually don't have this card. I think everything else here is basically the same, but I don't have this card, and instead, so then I bring the Rover, right? And then I've only got 5 CVs, which is really the bare minimum. But yeah, and then I think my 3rd card goes like here, or I get like the MLRS or something. I think I get the MLRS, yeah. I think I do. Yeah, I think that's how I do it. So yeah, I don't know if you're gonna bring. Oh no, what am I saying? I bring something else here, don't I? Terrier Pioneers, yeah. So it's cutting it close, only having 5 CVs, But if you wanted to, you could do that, get rid of this, and bring the Terrier Pioneers, because you don't actually have any satchels. So you're really going to struggle at close quarters engagements, because you don't actually have any satchels. So that's something to think about. But, you know, best to play it safe, I suppose. And this was a rover, but in this case, I would say it should be a Saxon, so you've still got 6 CVs. Then, sorry, I'm flicking about a bit here. Tank tab. So yeah, Challenger Command at 1 vet, Challenger Mark 2 at 1 vet, Challenger Mark 2 at 1 vet, and then Rover Milan. Yes, it's all very normal. This guy's definitely been watching my videos. Although there's really only one way to build this div, I think. I used to bring like 10 air mobile scouts. I still might, because I really like them. But yeah, you can bring cheaper scouts for 35 points. Then you've got some much cheaper recon. And you've still got heli recon. Like, this is a very beefy squad because of the 4 machine guns, but it is expensive. Then Foxes at Nova, yeah, and then this, yeah, that's fair enough. Recon. I've seen some people bring this. I played against this on 2 ways, and it was very annoying, but it's just not very good. It's just if you want to buy them all and send them around all over the place on 2 ways, apart from that one map, it's probably not that good. AA, so I don't really agree with this at all. What is that, 1 point slot? Okay. So, yeah, like, these aren't that great, and, you know, do you really need more than... I mean, you can do it, right? Or you can max vet your javelins. That's another one. Or you can bring a track rapier instead. But yeah, if you want to do this, whatever, it can work, I suppose. But I think I prefer the 2 javelins at max vet. Heli tab, so Helarm, FI tow. Yeah, that's exactly how I do it. The FI tow is top attack, so it will one-shot a 2 armor vehicle. 2 top armor vehicle, which is every medium tank in the game except the T-72, which is special. We won't get into why the T-72 is special. And then this is, you know, just regular shooty people, right? You can, like, so you could get rid of that, you could get rid of this, down vet that, or have it at 1 vet, right? And then you've got 3 AP, and then you could spend that 3 AP on, you know, another supply card here, right? So let's say you bring the Rover now. Now you can get rid of this. Now you can bring the Terrier Pioneers, right? And still have lots of CVs. I'm just giving you some ideas, right? But yeah, have the, you know, it's up to you. I do think not having any satchels is really going to hurt you. If you get down to brass tacks, you're going to really struggle without those. And then air tab, so 2, this is exactly how I build mine. So 2 cards of Phantoms, and then the HE2, because it's got a bigger payload than the HE1 for the same price, and the HE1 has twice the reload time, because it's done on a per bomb basis, not on like a total kilogram basis, so it's just dumb really. And then the Jaguar cluster for shooting people, right? Another thing you can do is, let's say you didn't want the Terrier Pioneers, you could put this back in. Which one was it? This one. And you can get rid of this or the other one, and then you can put in the Harrier Rocket or the Harrier HE, which is, these are pretty useful at the start of the game. They're pretty useful at the start of the game. Especially this one with the, I mean, this Berlin Command's got this, as we spoke about. Or this one, because it's also got Sidewinders, so you can sort of use it against helicopters, or you can use this, right? So there's just some ideas, and then this is the way I build it. I hope I didn't change it for a tournament. So yeah, I still have the 10 air mobile scouts, which I should probably change really. But I do have the Terrier Pioneers. I do have these at 2 vet. I do have these. Oh, I do actually have the motorized air mobile. And yeah, it's practically identical, except I actually have the Harrier Rocket, and I took out the Jaguar HE, which I think was probably a mistake actually, because it is very good. It can actually kill tanks as well because it dives and it drops it on the top armor. So yeah, it's very useful. But yeah, let's make that change right now. And you see, I've actually got this at no vet. So before I forget, I'm going to try swapping this out for, these don't have AT. Yeah, try swapping it out for this, because it would be, I'm not really bringing 10 in a game, as much as I'd like to, because of how cracked they are. I think having a cheaper scout option is probably a good idea. Anyway, I'll see you in the game. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk a bit about the map. This map is a very, very grindy map. Every game lasts a very long time because there's no middle zone. So you've got 3 here and 3 here. They're all tiny, they're all extremely defensible, and so it's always a very grindy game. What I like to do when I'm playing second UK is I like smoke this and just run it at the start and try and get some points. It's probably suboptimal strategy, but it does tend to take people by surprise. But yeah, generally it's a case of open 2 CVs, get all the things, hunker down, trade, 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 trade. In terms of the matchup, Berlin Command is really just not a good division. It's really struggles in the current IFV focused gameplay, and second UK is an S tier division because it gets a very good forward deployment, and then it gets 2 cards of Warriors, Warrior Milans, which is one of the better IFVs in the game. Well, is it? It's an IFV. I suppose they're all about the same. I mean, BMP2 is just better, right? But it is 60 points, whereas this is 50, so... Anyway, second UK is a lot better than Berlin-Com. What I would say is Berlin-Com has the advantage of Recoilless Rifles spam, which, as you'll know from the deck review, which you didn't skip, Zsadok didn't actually bring those. And they're basically the best part of the division, that and the Nighthawk. And so we'll see. I mean, not bringing the recoilless rifles is a bit rough. I do feel that that is the whole point of the division, to get those 10 recoilless rifles out, get some supply behind them and use them to trade. But yeah, I think it's going to be an uphill struggle for blue, certainly. Anyway, looking at the deployments, we've got Lephi here, and he's only opened 1 CV, so we will be behind on points at the start, because his opponent opened 2, although this is tracked, so yeah. And yeah, so he's going to be behind on points at the start. And so we've got 1 SS going here, which is very... I mean, for starters, that should be on this road, so it doesn't have to do all this turning. And it should be going to, like, here. That's a very, very conservative deployment. Keep in mind that Berlin Command has no airborne forward deployment, with the exception of the sniper, which... And then 2 SAS going to here, so another conservative deployment, and 2 SAS going to here, so another conservative deployment, and an SAS going to here, so another conservative deployment. So, yeah, Lephi not really using his advantage here. If I was in Lephi's case, to be honest, I would do the funny smoke thing, right? But really what you should be doing is trying to rush this at the start, because if you, with your SAS, because you get airborne forward deployment and he doesn't, you're going to get here before him. And if you get to here, then you can take these buildings. And if you take these buildings, you work your way up, and then you own this zone, because you can just shoot everybody, right? You can see the people in here, you shoot them, and then you can just drive in, smoke here, drive in. So really, if you're in Red's case, you want to be trying to take this, and then working your way up here. The alternative is you can try and fight in the open. Second UK isn't really very good at fighting in the open. But... Well, I mean, it's still stronger than Berlin Command at doing it, but Berlin Command has like TOW2 Humvees, which he didn't actually bring. So yeah, I mean, you'd want to be fighting an Echo. Another thing you can do if you're red is just barrel down this road. You put like one of those recon healers we know he's got out forward, so you know if there's a fox coming down here, and you take this, right, and you get somebody here as well, and then you slowly work your way up here, and then you attack this, right? And you use your auto cannons, use your IFV advantage. I mean, yeah, second UK is better in the open because of the IFVs and the challengers compared to the chieftains and the no IFVs of Berlin-Com. But generally, second UK wants to be doing the attack in here, and he's just not, so it's kind of weird. Anyway, scouts go into the front building here with the SAS, and then a Milan 2 for one of these buildings, a Warrior Milan, and a CV as we spoke about. 2 more Warrior Milans coming over to here, and then some Rover Milans just to cover the open, and a Fox going all the way down the back line. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got snipers out. One's going here, one's going on the right. This is a good spot because you can see stuff. You can, so you can like fast move it to here and then send it there, and it'll actually come down this road instead of coming down here where it would be spotted. We'll see. Oh, I didn't even notice this. So yeah, there's a fox trying to get all the way around as well. We'll see if Zsadok notices that. And the third sniper's coming up to here. This is a good spot. And yeah, Berlin Command, it's slower off the bat because it doesn't have any airborne forward deployment. And then it's just worse for the whole game. The late game's worse because it doesn't get 8 challenges at one vet. The mid game's worse because it doesn't get warrior spam. And the early game's worse because it doesn't get the SAS. So what is the advantage of Berlin Command? Recoilless Rifles, which he didn't bring, and the 2 Nighthawks. So hopefully get something done with those Nighthawks. Because SAS can't see them. You need to have a fighter basically on up at all times. Whenever you're against Berlin Command, you need a fighter up at all times. So yeah, sniper over here, backed up by Terrier Pioneers, which is interesting. I mean, this is a satchel unit, so I'm not sure. Okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And then a P-Farmland here. You'd want it here really, so it can shoot down there. But yeah, here can sort of work as well, I guess. A racist going to here, so we can see. A fox going to Lima, so that should be a fight there. P-Farmland going to here, and yeah, so a Rapier FSA, but going behind the house, which is a bit weird because it wouldn't actually be able to shoot because the house is going to block its LOS there. So you'd want it like in the trees or something. P-Farmland to here is fair enough, and really, if you're blue, you want to try and take this, because that's a useful position to have. And then with that, you can sort of pressure in the open if you want to fight in the open. Or you can fight in the town. Really, I mean, blue is just disadvantaged no matter what it's doing. So I'm not sure what advice to give. But yeah, you can set up here. And then you can buy 2 smoke mortars. And you can smoke this. And you can run straight in with a bunch of Milans here. Milan here, you know, tank here. Bit of infantry, right, and you just go straight in with the smoke, the 2 smokes. It's a very powerful strategy. I like doing it a lot. Sadly, it's been catching on. People have been noticing. But that's, you know, this is never getting there. That's very, I mean, because it's only recon deployment, so the enemy SAS is going to get there first anyway. So that's very aggressive. Like, you could try for here, and then a fox. And it looks like the plan is to stack this up and defend this. So, looks like Zsadok thought that Lephi would do what I thought Lephi should do. And, yeah, so he's going to stack this up with some machine guns, MP Patrol. That's not the one with the Recoilless Rifle. 2 Minstrels, Berlin Rifles. These are the guys with the LOR 80s, not the ones with the Recoilless Rifle. And then 2 AMX-30Bs, a good early game tank. And then a Pivad, so yeah, very defensive deployment from red, which you'd sort of expect really. And yeah, 2 CV, sorry, blue. Ugh. Regarded. Anyway, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos at a rate of 1 per week. 1 join at the lowest level is worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. But yeah, I appreciate you watching the videos. Thank you. Please like the video. It's free, right? It's free. Most of you don't do it. I don't understand why. It's literally, you could have done it by now. I guess you must. I was speaking to one guy and he said that he's heard it so many times he just sort of zones out. So I need to find ever more effective ways to shill, essentially. So yeah, the SAS are going to unload there and be spared from the fox. And the sec still going. Still going there. We'll see how far he makes it. I mean, he's not got AT either, so I'll be honest, I don't really like this unit. The reason you get it is for the Sonderwagen. So you've got a good optics vehicle, which is very good optics when it stood still. But Zsadok's gone for the racist anyway. This does have AT, and this is only good optics. So you can see that he can't actually see that, which is pretty incredible, given that it's a recon unit. So Rover Milan dodges there. Terrier Pioneers needs to unload immediately because the Fox can destroy that transport in 1 hit. And there it goes. Unimog of the Sec goes down. Fox needs to smoke or it's going to die. It chooses death. The tanks are showing up now. They've got a bit of recon with them. And this actually went straight through Echo without capping it, which does happen from time to time. So that's a shame. I wonder how long it'll take him to realise. So this sniper spotted the fox, and so reinforcements are on their way. Milan 2 does one-shot AMX-30B, because it will one-shot anything with It's like a 10 armor, I think. Jaguar purchase. Going for the Pivads, which is interesting. And then, yeah, so this is the advantage of dive bombers, is that these can't, like... The missiles aren't bendy enough, basically. P4 Milan gets aggressive and goes down there. And, yeah, so he's still not noticed. But yeah, a bit of a weird deployment from both players. Like, Red could have afforded to have been much more aggressive here, and then that's... Oh, dodges that one. Sec should be able to see him now, yeah. And... Yeah, so... Yeah, interesting. Harry Rocket out. Fox might kill the rifles leader in the transport. This is on defensive, so it will automatically smoke. Fox goes down to Rover Milan. Harrier can't find a target. The sec dies. And now he's pushing with infantry into infantry and building. So really, unless he uses this, he's going to lose that. The Milan 2 did actually go down there. And so Zsadok must know about this now. He managed to kill the other one. Harrier Rocket gets taken out by the Phantom. Double Minstrel does actually hit this time because they didn't dive right over it, so they could get a proper bead on it. And this Warrior Milan's going to kill everybody if he doesn't bring up the tank. So he's bringing up the tank. Warrior Milan's still good. Oh, it's actually still alive. Okay. And yeah, he's still not noticed. He's buying some more Berlin rifles now. This should kill a couple of those. So yeah, pretty rough from blue. I mean, really, if you're playing a worse div, you should just be trying to take trades. And just out-trade your enemy on a 2 or 3 to 1 ratio, and then you can push in towards the end. And he could have had a massive point lead, but he didn't cap this, so he's not 100 points up, which he could have been 100 points up, and then the enemy would have to push for the rest of the game. The AMX-30B is probably not going to make it. But yeah, this was sort of a foolhardy attack. It's just not the right units to be attacking with, right? You've got one open ground unit, and it's got its work cut out for it. It will survive that if it hits. This apparently fired all 4 of its rounds and hit nothing. I might have hit one back there. The Minstrels are dead, so the Lynx Rocket's going to get some kills there. Just spamming out the infantry here. You need another one of these, or another 2 of those. Now that that's dead, a recon, and more AA. So yeah, pretty horrifying attack for blue there. He lost a lot of his guys, although he got an SAS. And it's sort of what we were talking about with the diving. This is probably dead now because the SAS are going to shoot it. So you can't really buy Harrier rockets against SAS. That's really what you want the Nighthawk for, because the SAS can't actually see it because they've not got air optics. Sorry, I've got a very itchy nose. I need to sort that out. I need like nose surgery. Anyway, so this one SAS Saxon combo is beating the rifles leader. They do have smoke, which is sort of the point. So you smoke here and then you don't die. Wasn't that why you brought the smoke one? But yeah, it takes some getting used to, I suppose, because you got to sort of zoom in, click B, click in front, and then click over here. But yeah, this is probably going to die here. And that wasn't great for blue at all. And, you know, I got to itch my nose again. I'm trying to resist the urge. I really need a shave, to tell you the truth. It would sort out a lot of my problems. So here, there's no fire support. There were 2 warriors there. Oh yeah, they came up here and died. And yeah, you see how effective this is, because it's got an autocannon, and the autocannon's actually got a very high accuracy because it's classed as being slave to the tank gun. So it's got 77% accuracy, you know, because it's got the same one as the tank gun that has 55. Anyway, Harrier AA going for the Lynx rocket. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so the air mobile actually gets out, and this should die now to the SAS, yeah, because there are 3 of them. And, yeah, Zsadok, he really needs to kill these SAS. Like, this one is getting away, although Lephi, he's just sort of given up. Right, he's ungiven up. And yeah, you know, don't be afraid to move this and use it while it's moving and get this over here and kill him. Because, yeah, that needs to die, really. That's a very important kill. Oh, no, it's gonna... Oh, no, he's seen it. Okay, great. I thought he was going to engage this. Anyway, for Red's perspective, this was a great place to be, and he should have reinforced this a lot before these all got here, but I don't know, he needs to sort this out as well, I guess. But look how much work these two units are getting done. They've killed 2 SAS, and now they're killing all these arm rifles. They are target switching, so you've got to watch out, because as soon as they get to low cohesion, they start target switching, and then they target switch back. Anyway, it's dead now. It's a shame, because it could have killed them all, but yeah, more minstrels purchased. Getting air bullied, really big problem as Berlin Command. It is the main disadvantage, because your Harriers are slow and just not very good. And your AA, you've got no long range AA. Like, it's crazy how weak. Like, there's a lot of NATO divs which just have these glaring weaknesses, and then the packed ones are like, here's 4 cubs. The worst divs in the game are all NATO, actually, thinking about it. 152 easy, TKS, 35th US, 4th UK. What's the worst pack div? I don't know, probably Berliner Gropers or something, which isn't actually that bad, so... Yeah, what can I say? What can I say? It's yeah. So, anyway, more air bully here. So this is one of the reasons why it's so difficult to push as Berlin. But, I mean, he's actually broken through here. It's just, now he needs some supply, right? And he can move up the racist, right? And he's bought a Chieftain Mark 10 here. I mean, another one of those AMX-30Bs would have been cool. This is going to die. So hopefully he notices before it dies. I do like this. I think this is very cool, right? Could get some AA on the board, right? I mean, if you're up to here, you need AA up here, really. Generally, the way you play Berlin Com is you play quite a tight game, and then you just saturate with man-pads in your tight area, and then you slowly attrition the enemy forwards. And you use the Nighthawk as well to kill stuff. So Blue's definitely, I think, winning the attritional war. Like, he lost his whole force here, but that's been replenished. And he did kill an SAS, so there's actually only... And then one died here. There's only 2 SAS left out of 6. And the SAS are the best part of 2nd UK. If you're facing 2nd UK, you want all the SAS to die. And if you're... and yeah, these are also really good against helicopters because it's an autocannon with very high accuracy. Except that time, apparently, where, I don't know, 2 autocannons just missed over and over and over again. What can I say? Anyway, they got it in the end, though. And that's actually worked, because that's 100 points, whereas the AMX is like 85 or something. So Chieftain Mark 10 taking some names here. Pissy B, really good close range squads. Yeah, Blue needs to try and secure this. If he's going to fight for this, which it looks like it's what he's doing, you know, he sorted this out, but he didn't have the AA. And now he needs to take this, and he needs AA, right? This is not enough. The minstrels here probably not going to help with this. And yeah, just push him without AA, because Harrier AA is just not going to do anything for you. So, and as you can see, yeah. So basically, wow, what could I say? I mean, they're all British planes, right? But that was very fortunate. At least it died. So it didn't miss there, it just hit everything. So, yeah, with Berlin Com, you want to bait your enemy into flying all his planes over your man-pads and killing them. But yeah, I mean, he really needs some AA here if he wants to push here. He needs AA. A couple stingers. We know he doesn't have the stingers. He went for Javelin LMLs instead, which is not ideal. Yeah, alright. I mean... Oh, this is going to evac over the minstrels. The minstrels are actually upvetted by the CV, which is smart. And there we go. So 2 shots, 2 hits, 65% accuracy, and it scales with range. And you see that's the range, and it was literally like here when they fired, so it's going to be very accurate. Challenger Mark 2's coming out here. That Challenger Mark 2 should beat the Meep. They can't see each other, but looks like the Meep's going to get the first shot off because of the sniper, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, this is going to get planed now, so... He has to smoke him back. Nighthawk finally purchased, so that took some time. Like, this is just not ideal, really. You need, like, this tank should be engaged. And, obviously, yeah, the minstrel's coming over now. Right, so this can spot this, and then it can be killed. But otherwise, it's not ideal. Anyway, like, okay, so he lost targeting. but it was away. And now you need to evac it. You don't leave it around. You do not leave it in, because look, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you with a... Whoa. It's gonna get the second missile off. You do not leave it after it drops the first bomb, because the enemy is always going to focus that down. It's your best thing, right? And it's got 0% ECM. The advantage is the stealth. The enemy can't see it, but that was an excellent trade for Lephi. He'd do that every day of the week. Anyway, like, this should have been in that fight, really. It would have helped a lot. This is probably going to die now. Down it goes. Like, this could have been moved up as well. Both at once, you know, typically, as opposed to one at a time. But yeah, as soon as it drops the first bomb, you evac it. Every single time. It makes it regenerate faster, right? You do not leave it for 2 bombs, because you're going to fly over enemy AA and so on, and there it died to a bomber. So it's just really not ideal. This doesn't have recon now, so that can one-shot that, as we know. It did actually miss there. That landed, so it got shot by the tank gun. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is sort of working somehow. He needs to smoke, really. And it's just missed again. Okay. I mean, it is mediocre cohesion, but down it goes. So yeah, interesting. And it is smart for Lephi to take this, because once you've taken this and this, then you can get in here. So it's looking a lot worse for blue on this side now, and it's mainly just because of the bombers. You can turn off the FAMAS so it doesn't shoot at the FAMAS and reveal its position. Racist goes down to Challenger. Challenger beats Chieftain every day of the week. And it missed even. Same accuracy. Here's the Jaguar cluster back again. Right, and it missed actually. Rapier wasn't unloaded. Triple Pivot is actually doing a lot of work there. And okay, so he's back again. He's going for the Pivads, which... I mean, he saw how many Pivads shot him before, so that was really dumb, actually. He knew there were 3 Pivads there because they all shot him before, so that was not smart. This needs to smoke him back. It hasn't hit it yet. Right, well, that was not fantastic, as they say. It would be cool if Pissy B got a smoke grenade. Anyway. Harrier AA for close range defense, I guess. I guess if it's up, you might as well have it up, so that, because it gives you air optics, although the air optics are only good. It helps you see things, because like this is only, well, that's ground optics, I think. It helps you see things. So yeah, this is the sort of game you buy artillery for. Anyway, Challenger should beat Chieftain. Meep's not really contributing. Air Mobiles is gonna... Like, look, this bolts and it's... Right, there you go, and now it's routed. And, okay, I mean, it's not ideal. Pivads could come forwards here and, wow, I mean, if that other one had hit, it would have done a lot of damage there with it being a side shot and everything. P4 Milan's holding off the Challengers. Just a damn shame about what happened to that Nighthawk, because if you... I'm struggling to speak here. It takes like a minute to reload both bombs, or 2 minutes to reload both bombs, and so it will resupply in 1 minute if you only drop one. And so you can just every minute kill something, and if the enemy's not got fighters up, and frankly Lephi's been very bad with his fighters, he just keeps diving them. He's lost at least 2. This is cool as well, right? So if this is empty, you know, Berlin com, you can get a force together for quite cheap. So why not, you know it's free up to here. So you get a couple Pivads, quite a bit of infantry, right? You just build it up, and then send it all in at once with a recon helo to scout. And then you could take this, right, with a CV. You need the element of surprise. If the enemy has time to reinforce, then he just buys 12 Warrior Milans, and you lose. But yeah, these fire support tanks are doing very well. They're pretty decent against Warrior Milans as well, as long as you've, you know, got the range thing going for you. And yeah, like Nighthawks against Challengers, you'd just be killing it constantly. So it's a shame he hasn't bought the second one actually. But yeah, this is a missed opportunity here. Anyway, Red keeps attacking, and he's losing a lot of units for it. Really, like he's gonna get side shot now. Okay, it missed again, but now it's gonna side shot him because he can't face both ways, right? There you go. So yeah, Red losing the attritional war here. over here, Red's actually been forced to fall back. So this ended up working out in the end. But yeah, not all the challengers are dying, right? Many of them are surviving. Supply coming in for the CV. And there's only 2 pivads left, so one must have died to this or something. Is that a Nighthawk? Here it is! Right, and then as soon as it drops, you gotta evac. Look, it reloads both in 2 minutes, which means it reloads 1 a minute, and it's literally 25 HE. It will one-shot this on its top armor. So just immediate evac. Immediate evac. So down it goes. And like this just, it needs to go. Don't hang about. Because the enemy should now be sending a fighter to just suicide into that, because it's so worth it. You only get 2. And they're 1 per card. Yeah, I don't know what the point of leaving it in is, because he's not actually using it. Anyway, Minstrel got something there, got Lynx Rocket, okay. Right, here we go, so it's coming in now. Oh, it's going for the Challenger, alright, so that's quite deep, but... Right, now as soon as it... Evac, evac. Evac. Right, here comes the Phantom. Is he going to evac? Cutting it close. So yeah, he gets out. I mean, really, that was just Lephi just being a bit of a muppet there. Oh, wow. So yeah, got very lucky there. Only took 1 hit. But yeah, he just, as soon as it drops the bomb, you have to evac it. Don't leave it about. Like, I know there are people like, oh, I'll chain 2 shots together. Just, like, yeah, if you want to lose it. Anyway, yeah, this should move up, really, because then... Oh, it's dead now. So now it should move back, because it won't beat all that infantry. And, yeah, so that thing, because it's got a repair, we're not going to see that for about 5 minutes now. Whereas if he'd evac'd it straight away, it'd be back in 1 minute. And then he could come kill this, right? But it was cool that he got that, and he survived. But yeah, there should have been... The fighter should have just... There should always be a fighter out when you're against Berlin Command. There should always be a fighter out. Because basically you don't see the thing, you just see the explosion. And then you're like, whoa, and then you send the plane over there, you see it, you kill it. Once you kill those, Berlin Command's basically lost the game. So yeah, we're struggling for AA here. Just sort of... Yeah, I mean, basically, if you're blue, you know, you take this, great. Resupply all your guys, get some more reinforcements up, move up. Don't just keep pushing. Because look at this, I mean, these are dead. This is going to be dead soon, although this isn't really doing too much. But yeah, blue is winning, I think. I mean, obviously he's a little bit behind on points. It would be a draw. These aren't really doing too much. And look at this. So there's no recon here, so we couldn't see that, whereas these had been revealed because they fired first. So yeah, lots of people dying there. Lynx Hellarm would be very, very useful. 1 Lynx Hellarm here. I do like how he's taken this. So yeah, 1 Lynx Hellarm back here. Would force these back. It wouldn't kill him. They'd have to go back. These are in a pretty funny spot, but yeah, no utilization here. Just keeps attacking here, which... It's just not working, really. I mean, he's taking ground, but he's losing a lot of people for it. So, you'd expect the challengers to win this one. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess this can't see the CV. I mean, the meat, it's got more armor. Fires faster, it's got more accuracy. The Challenger, it's got, sorry, the Challenger's got the same armor, okay. But, okay, yeah, I mean, then it was a 3v1. So these guys, yeah, you need these with them, really, although this will get shot. So it's just rough because the Warrior Milan should really be killing everything. But, I mean, this is not ideal. Just in the open getting shot there. You need a bit of smoke cover. This is like way too aggressive, basically. You're just losing stuff that you don't have to be losing. So this is all going to die and nothing will be accomplished. So this is going to spot that as it goes up that hill. So yeah, not fantastic. Pivads is... Yeah, so if the Pivads can get a bead on these... I mean, I like that it's been moved up, because it'll deal with all the helicopters. Over here, Blue's taking this zone back. It's Red's turn to overextend. Wow. Yeah, have you... Alright. So yeah, he's trying to hide or something, but... It'll neutralise it. I don't think he's actually got time to cap it. And frankly, a Lephi should just be immediately driving this in here. But he's not. And he's not using this. This will now die. There it goes. Lephi reacts. You need a 100-point advantage to win. Oh no, big waste here. So that's a shame, because if he'd sort of played this a little bit better, you know, sent a recon helo first, you know, sent some other units first, not just move this into the enemy, that would have got in there. You know, if it had come this way, right? If it had come this way, it actually would have got in, you know, get in with some infantry. Because now this opportunity has basically been wasted, because if Lephi's paying attention, which is debatable, he should now stack this with loads of guys. So yeah, big waste there. It's a bit of a shame. So Blue just getting a little bit impatient, not respecting the second UK pick enough. Like, second UK is just way better, so you can't be doing this. You know, massive overextensions, because Blue had a pretty substantial point lead, kill lead. You could tell because he just had more stuff, and then he fed here, and fed here, and... Yeah, he fed here, and fed here, and now he's got nothing. Nothing. So now he's got to build up again, and then Red can now build up, and Red gets better build up than Blue because this stuff is just better. This is going to shoot that FITO apparently. Red really lacking the AA. I mean, after all the... So as you know from the deck review, he's got 4 2-vet FSB1 Rapiers. Here we go. This is what you'd expect to see. And, yeah, maybe Blue can bait him over the AA. Because if this dies, then the Nighthawks get a better shout. Nah, doesn't have the range. Too far back. So, yeah, okay, so Blue now pushing back up here. Has bought some more AA, which is great. Another Fox sent round the back. I mean, you got to watch out for this. This air mobile should go down presently. These are very good anti-infantry tanks because they've actually got 3 machine guns. Harrier AA up. But yeah, the Fox is probably going to get this. 2 RT purchased at once. Don't really agree with this. You wanna pad that out with some extra units, right? I mean, Red is now massively overstacked this, and he's got nothing here. So, and he's just wasted 2 minutes income on artillery, which hasn't fired yet. Like, you should have both RT pieces by now on Hesse, but don't buy them both at once. Buy one, use it for a bit, you know, get some more frontline out. Unless you're very, very confident in your frontline. Obviously, we can see more than Red can. But Red has a big hole here, and so he shouldn't really be doing this. I mean, this is not ideal. We see this in so many games. People buying RT, and then it just, so often does it not work out for them. So the air mobile go down here. Link's rocket makes pushing difficult. There is a pivads, but the yeah, it's not got the best anti-helo range. So these 2 RT pieces still haven't fired yet. I guess Red could consider counter-attacking here if he gets enough RT off on it. Smoking this off is smart, but basically you want to... So shift, B, click, F, click, B, click, F, click, B, click, F, click, and then they'll move after every volley. Otherwise, there's no advantage of this over a foot mortar. And if I'm Lephi now, I should be counter-batterying these immediately, because it looks like he doesn't have anything else to shoot at. But yeah, it's smart to smoke this off, because it means that you can push this way. Need to get the AA up to here, and then you can, you know, then you can sort of barrel down here. I mean, we don't know if there's anything in here, right? Or at least Red doesn't know if there's anything in there. Phantom obviously outranges the Harrier. Right, well, Phantom, that was very not smart from the Phantom, because yes, the Harrier is dead. The Harrier is 110 points. it exists to die. If it trades, fantastic. Not sure what's going on here. Like these guys, they don't have. I mean, I guess the FSB2 has radar. This is, yeah, okay. So he's literally just using that to soak, and now it's dead because it. You don't just fly over the enemy spawn. Anyway, these aren't moving as we spoke about, so they're now being counter-batteried. Nighthawk is up. Jaguar once again, the ASF of the day. Mortar goes down to the M107s. This one survives. And yeah. So these machine guns are pretty good at holding ground. Like, very good at holding ground. This is gonna die now. Big sad. And these guys are a bit caught out. Okay, so here's the Mirage. It's not dropping its bombs again. Like, imagine if it used a bombing run here. That would be massive. But, so this is the second one he's bought, actually. Nighthawk is just using up fuel, really, which makes the resupply time take longer. So Chieftain's coming in here. This one might get side shot. Oh, just gets out of LOS there. Mirage does drop its bombs. Takes out the enemy CV, actually, which is pretty cool. This needs to smoke now. Just pop your smoke. Move up that Minstrel. And yeah, Javelin goes down to the Fox, so now we should know about the Fox, although he's probably paying more attention to what's going on over here. So what you can do with this is turn off the cover and hide it here, and then it won't automatically try and get into the trees, and it'll just sit here, and then the Hellam won't be able to shoot it. Otherwise, you're just going to sit here eating Hellam side. That's going to be a side shot. Whoa. Okay. It was close. Anyway, yeah, cool. Blue's actually managed to get in. I guess it's because Red put too much here. And is, you know, no, it's because he bought the 2 arty pieces. How many times have we seen this on this channel? There's so many games that we cast are like this, where it's like 2 sides evenly matched. I'm going to buy loads of arty. And then, you know, like, obviously, yeah, if you've got a front line, buy it. But if you don't, then don't. And so he bought 2 arty and a rover, and his opponent just bought ground stuff, and he just ran in. So, yeah. Yeah, like, at this point in the game, yeah, you should have 2 arty pieces if you're on Hesse, but, you know, with it being such a grindy map. But you don't buy them both at once when there's a big hole in your front line, at all. You know, you buy one, and then you buy front line for another few minutes. That is very fortunate that that did not get side shot. And yeah, I don't like the Javelin LMLs, they're very slow, they're not very good. Sec should be arm rifles. There's, like, basically just one Minstrel doing all the work here. Okay, Javelins are now in range. The advantage of them is they fire 3 at once. Sorry, well, 3 before they reload. So they do shoot quicker. This needs to get in here, really. But anyway, +1, +2 even, to Zsadok. So, Red, he's trying to get this back in. It looks like it's getting in. Oh no, Nighthawk. So as soon as it drops, you need to evac. But it doesn't, and now he's going to run out of fuel. Fuel takes time to repair. Okay, so he evac'd it. Fuel takes time to repair. So yeah, if you're using attack position, you got to wait like 3 seconds before you evac it after the bomb drops. But if you've got line of sight of the target, as soon as that bomb is away, it's going to home in, and so you need to evac. 2 arty purchased. This Fox is still here. I mean, Lephi's got a lot of value out of these Foxes this game. And yeah, it just comes down to that arty purchase, really. If he had bought those Hell Arms instead of the arty, right? You know, extra challenger here. Milan 2 here. Problem solved. But nah, he really wanted those 2 arty pieces. Fox takes out another one. P4 Milan this time. And he's going to get the mortar as well. And he'll probably get the M109s and the supply. Not sure Zsadok's paying too much attention to this. He is starting to reinforce this now, which is fair enough, really. Although, you know, I really do think, you know, this should be going to here. There should be another P4 Milan here. There should be a bit more supply and stuff. Although I guess that's what this is. So that, yeah, now the mortar's dead. Mr. Renshaw here is getting a lot of kills. And he's going to get the M109s as well. This doesn't have AT. None of this can kill this. They don't have direct fire. So there goes the supply. There goes the other supply. This is not ideal for blue. Transport survives somehow. And here we go. So red's counter-attacking. The MGs should do a lot. I mean, really, red sort of wasted all his warrior Milans over the course of the game. This challenger's probably going to get in. I can't really see anything stopping it. But blue has the advantage he needs. You need 100 points more to not be a draw. Anyway, the Meep Abrams comes and kills it. And that Nighthawk will still be refueling. But yeah, it is an interesting div building com. It's basically just the Nighthawks. It lives and dies off the Nighthawks. So you see he got, you know, 2, maybe 3 challenges with the Nighthawks, which is pretty good. I mean, to be honest, second UK is quite weak to Nighthawks. If you're against a division with Cubs, it tends to go a bit worse for you. Although, you know, you can send the seed out first and so on. So he's trying to get flanking shots off here, but he's not doing it well. So like, if this was here, it would, you know... I suppose he's got to watch out for the hell arms and so on, but I don't... What's the plan here? Alright. So, still got a mortar left. You know, you could smoke and run this one in, or what have you. But haste makes waste. Blue has the advantage. These are now firing over here. And Lephi's all-infantry attack sort of went nowhere. Because without warriors to support, and warriors would have been very effective here, because there's no ATGMs, apart from this. And now there's one coming. So 2 warriors here would have really made that work. Can't use the Lynx rocket because of the minstrels. Obviously we can see what he can't see. Here we go, smoke. So now he can get in. Extend his lead a little bit. Lynx rocket coming in now, so you'd expect the minstrel to... okay, a bit of a weird LOS thing going on here. Yeah. This needs to move forwards a building, I believe. And... okay. So this should be moving between volleys. Oh, it's the seed. Okay. Yeah, this used all its rockets, and now it needs to go back and resupply. But yeah, red's not really getting in here. I mean, he can do this as much as he wants. Blue has a lot of infantry, and that's sort of blue's thing. So yeah, another thing you can do with this is turn the cover off and hide it here. Between the 2 buildings, so you don't get hit by all these helicopters and stuff. You can, or you can hide it behind this building, right? So just something to consider for next time. There you go, Lynx rocket went down there. I believe that still had the guy in it. It's a pretty expensive loss there. 1 Pivads here would have been cool. Could have shot everything. I think all the Pivads have been purchased though, because he upvetted them. He's only got 5. So maybe it's not worth upvetting them. That was a good counter battery actually, I almost got one. And we can hear the Nighthawk. And that's out of rounds. Javelin LMLs just don't have the mobility, with it being a vehicle type. Did you know in real life minstrels can only be fired from a tripod like this? They're not, but in this game minstrels are super stingers that are launched from the shoulder. Because France has to have a man-pad, guys. Anyway, Lephi getting a little bit irresponsible with his units here. Just losing them. And good bombing run there. So it's worth noting, right, that if you give this a bombing run order, it won't actually shoot its seed missiles until that order has happened, and then it'll shoot its seed missiles. So just something to keep in mind. And yeah, it's like this, basically, it should be called in bomb evac, called in bomb evac, called in bomb evac. Just having it just floating around. 1, increases its risk of death, but 2, it makes it take ages to resupply because it's got to refill all the fuel. Whereas otherwise it would be 60 seconds. So it does the fuel simultaneously with the bombs, so... you know, the bombs, if you just drop it straight away, it's 60 seconds. I don't actually know the fuel calculation. But yeah, like... this is just asking to die, basically. Because also, the enemy can hear this before they can see it, which is how they know where to send the fighter. You can hear it, so it makes that whistling sound. That's the main counter to it, actually. Not having music on, so you can hear it. But yeah, I mean, Zsadok, he's won this. Looks like he's going to get in here as well, so good for him. And must have some recon there. Because yeah, I mean, he's going to get the M107. So yeah, these are the reason Lephi lost, my humble opinion. And they didn't really accomplish anything, so something to keep in mind. Don't overinvest in arty. If you've got a stable front line, then yeah, by all means buy an arty piece, buy a bit more front line, and then buy another arty piece. But don't just buy two at once with a CV, because you're going to lose 2 minutes income. His opponent spent his 2 minutes income on, like, what, 2 meeps? And he just ran in with the meeps and everything else, and he got in. So, you know, it's a lesson we learn a lot on this channel, and it's a mistake I've made myself multiple times. So this is going to be Lephi's Hail Mary here. He's going to YOLO this in. Typically you'd want the motorized air mobile at the front. This loitering Nighthawk should be able to get the hit, perhaps. Okay, it's actually been sent to solve this other problem first. And yeah, there's just a lot of tanks here. Lephi's challenges were basically wasted, right? He lost 2 here, he lost 2 here, he lost 2 to the Nighthawk, 3 to Nighthawk, sorry, not Nighthawks, Nighthawks, Noobhawks. He lost 3 to the Noobhawks, right? And yeah, so Lephi's getting the smoke in now, he's going to smoke his way in. He's in a good spot. He could have sent one Saxon to here and then loaded another one up in the Saxon and had it behind the front one, so if it dies, it dies, you know, it's empty, whereas the other one gets in, takes this, stops reinforcements coming down this road. This still hasn't dropped its bombs, just now it's going to evac from lack of fuel. That's a big shame, really. Could have got a lot of kills there with this thing. But yeah, Lephi wasting his ASF's dive-in AA positions really ended up making this Nighthawk have free reign. It wasn't used to the extent that it could have been, but still, you know, it got some good kills, and it's still alive. I mean, we're not going to see it again. So this rover should get in here, really, but it won't change much. It'll stop the tick, but it won't reverse it. And with 21 seconds left, you know, can't make up that 800-point difference. Yeah, it was a really interesting game. It's good to see Berlin Command. You don't see that very often, mainly because it's so weak. But yeah, Lephi didn't get much out of his forward deployment, or anything really. And then he, I don't know, it's just Zsadok just slowly ground him down with the power of Berlin Command. So here you go, Zsadok, rank 542 with about 116 games this patch. Since the reset, since February. Lephi rank 608 with about the same, 137 games. So yeah, pretty similarly matched players. And so this is a very surprising result, really, to see Berlin Command come out on top of that, because typically it's just the autocannon should kill all your stuff, right? The Warrior Milan should kill all your stuff. And that should be the end of it, really. I did like Lephi's foxes round the back. I thought they did a lot of work. But yeah, when he bought those 2 artillery pieces, it just keeps happening. He just keeps saying games like that, where somebody's like, I need to buy all my artillery at once, and then that's it. Anyway, do let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. GG.